Hi, I'm glad you're here. This is Jaron from Meeedly, the world's best business-to-business meeting scheduling tool. I will be your host, guiding you through a series of advanced programming concepts simplified for easy learning and practical use. Let's jump right into it. This video is a part of a series where we explore React.js from the ground up. If you're a software engineer joining Meeedly, this video series will introduce you to the core development practices we follow. You'll learn how to structure and organize your React.js project from the ground up, apply consistent naming conventions, and use real-life React functions by building a counter app, covering everything from React fundamentals to advanced API integrations. In the previous video, we worked on our About page where we created a user post log that has an avatar. Inside that post, we had a user number, likes, dislikes, and a reply button. And we also had a description that uses dummy.json to help provide data for our posts. Now we will be adding a way for us to actually see the date when our posts are created, as well as increasing user clarity by adding a spinner. Let's get started. We will be mainly working in our dataformat.js file inside our utilities folder. If you remember from before, files in this folder are used to hold helper functions, constants, hooks, or any utility files that support the application but are not tied to any one component view. Dataformat.js will be used to format the time that we will save for the user posts. So if we go to utilities, dataformat.js, here is the code that we will be using for the file. Let's look at the code that we will be using in this file. First, we have an object called dataformats that has a function called a goFormat. Then we have two consts called now and date. Now stores the current date and time, while date will actually convert the input date, which is whatever we pass in, into a JavaScript date object so we can compare them. Then our const seconds will subtract the two dates to give us the difference in milliseconds. Then we divide it by 1,000 to convert it into seconds. Finally, we use math.floor, which will round down to the nearest whole number. This is because we don't want decimals, for example, 4.7 seconds. Then we move down where we define the time intervals. This arrow lists all the possible time units from largest to smallest. Each item has a label which has the name of the time unit as well as the seconds, which is how many seconds are in that unit. For example, if we look at a day, 1 day is equal to 86,400 seconds. After that, we will move to find the right time unit, which is found here. We will continue to loop through each time unit, starting from the biggest all the way down to the smallest. Count will let us know how many units fit in the time difference. If at least one fits, it will build a string for that unit, and it will add an S only if the count is more than 1. If no intervals fits, which is the case if it was created less than 1 second ago, it will just return just now. After you have finished using and finishing your dateformat.js, we will be going to the about.js to import it. So like before, import dateformat from utilities, dateformat. Then we will also be going down to our UI, specifically right below our comment author, and we will be adding a p tag. It will be called comment time, and then we will be using dateformats.agoFormat, and this will help to show the actual time when our cards were created. After importing your dateformat.js properly into your about page, this is how it should now look. It will show the day of the post as created in relation to your actual time and date. If you check the console, you will also see what's shown on the card actually matches to when the card was created. So you can inspect and go to console. In the console, it says that post 1 was created on August 11th. As of today of the recording, it is August 14th, and that matches up with the 3 days ago. You can also feel free to look at your own and see if it matches, but most and all of these should be matching with your time. Then you can also see that when you want to load more, it will actually load more of the posts, and then you can see that all these times will match up with you. One thing to also notice, however, is right now if we go to the end of the post, the user doesn't really have any indication that there will be any more posts generated after. So let's help fix this for more user clarity by adding a little spinner to our page. If we go back to our about.js page, we already have a loading state created, so we will be just creating our spinner based off that. We will go to the return section of our code, scroll down, and right above the Sentinel ref part of our code, we will be updating it with this block of code. We use the JS logical AND. This means that if loading is true, the right side is returned and the spinner will render. If loading is false, the expression will return false and nothing is rendered, leaving the spinner to disappear. This means that the spinner only exists in the DOM while a fetch is in progress. Now, for the last time in this video, if we go back to our app, we can see that when we go down to the end of the 10 posts that are rendered, there is now a spinner that will alert the user that there are more things being loaded. We can see another example right here. Once you have all this working, we have completed the functionality of our user posts. That's it for this video. To summarize what we have done, we added a utilities file that helps show the cart creation time, as well as clarified our loading of more posts by adding a spinner. We will continue with our About page to create a Reviews card section, which is the last portion of this page. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.